Yeah. Up your arsenal. Let's go. This game, I love it already. The way it flows, it's all coming back to me. I'm I'm getting emotional. Oh my gosh. I remember this. I remember this. Oh, it's been forever. I was so hyped to get because this was the closest to like a mini game in a game. Oh man, I haven't seen this forever. You need to a vid comic to play. Of course you do. What is happening? What are we doing here? I have to show this. What? Why Quark? What is that? Twin Quark. Let's go. I just love how when you get out the ship, you tend to see all this every time. Like you just see the whole landscape once you get out the ship. It just shows this. Oh my goodness, the mayor's there. Who else? Who do I recognize? Oh, there's he's back from being a robot. Oh, little Ratchet and Clank 2 reference there. Okay. Gosh, I'm trying to see. Oh, you again, soldiers. Oh, and the people up top from Deadlock or something? Is that what's going on? Oh my goodness, is that the guy from that vacation of... There's some reference. No, it's the guy that sold the big gun. The big gun from number one, from Ratchet and Clank 1. I'm fanboying here. Man, there's a lot. Yep, and just like that, I am sad. I wanted more, but like, come on, come on, game. Just I want more. I just want more of my childhood. Okay, and then this is what you give me. It's so short. Come on. Come on. Guys, Vince Ready here. And yeah, I finished Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. That's literally what it's called, Up Your Arsenal. Okay, I never would ever say that to anyone, Up Your Arsenal. But yeah, why is it? And it took me this long to know what the name means, but now I know as an adult, so I'm like, well, that's interesting. Because I never really take the names into consideration. Then again, I know a couple of the names and stuff like that, but I never remembered them. I always remembered it as like Ratchet and Clank 1, Ratchet and Clank 2, Ratchet and Clank 3, which is this one, and Ratchet and Clank 4. The four golden Ratchet and Clank games of the PS2 days that I grew up playing. I played all of them, and pretty much who else played all of them was, well, my dad. My dad also loved this game. Probably more than I do. He loved the Ratchet and Clank games, up to the questionable Nexus one on the PS3, but I can't wait to play that one, that's for sure. I'm not going to play with him. Okay, he's busy trying to be alive, hello? But, this game itself, the series, it's personal. It's personal. Also, I just want to tell you my reaction, my impression when I first got to really play it in that first 10 minutes of me playing Ratchet and Clank was like, I almost teared up, okay? I want to tell you right now, I almost teared up because understand that this game is my family's favorite game. It's basically our family heirloom, this game itself, the Ratchet and Clank series. And personally, it just clicked. It just clicked so well when I actually got my hands on playing, like, the first level and the first gun shoot and also the first like dodge and throwing the ratchet and stuff like that. It just flows so freaking well. I don't care about like comparing it's never about that whenever I try to play old school games or old games that are like, especially ones in the PS2 that I grew up so much. But for this one particularly, the Up Your Arsenal, like this one, like in probably Deadlock once I get there, because that's the next game. It freaking clicked. It felt like this is why I play games. This is why my dad loves it so much. And as an adult, as of, pretty much like witnessing this, as of now, like a decade later, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so good. This will always be my favorite. This is the reason why I play these old school games, because it's just stuff like that where it felt like magic. It's crazy. I know some of you are going to be like, okay, Vince, chill. It's just a game. Man, it's more than a game, fool. It's real life. No, but seriously, man, that first 5 minutes. I never felt that. Not even the Jack and Daxter games. Not even the Metal Gear games. No, freaking Ratchet and Clank is where it's at. Okay, that's literally just like was magic. I don't know what it is, but just a flood of nostalgia of just me on my dad's lap. Just because I was basically a fetus. This was a long time ago. I don't know when it was released or something, but I guarantee you that I was a fetus, probably. And when I say a fetus, I meant to say like either 4 or 5 or something. I don't freaking know. I was in like preschool or K or whatever. I was a baby, okay? I was a baby, okay? I was a little munchkin playing Ratchet and Clank with my pops, and we was just going at every robot and everything, completing, collecting all the trophies and collecting all the bolts and stuff and collecting all the weapons. That was one of his favorite things to do in this game. And it's sad that, of course, Ratchet and Clank was one of the games that would be the last games that my dad would ever played. That Prince Persia, some golf games, because I guess they love golfing that age, and also like a whole bunch of stuff. But man, Ratchet and Clank was always the game that he stick with. And now, as pretty much heir to the throne as the son, it kind of carries on to me. It's almost like that's why it's emotional, because it's a genetics. It's genetics. It's basically like like just feeling the rhythm of just like, oh man, here I am within my own genes. That's how you know I'm the son. The moment you put Ratchet and Clank is the moment I freaking remember everything. If my whole memory got washed up, all you freaking need to do is get a freaking Ratchet and Clank game, give me the controller, and everything would just be back. And I'll be like, oh, where am I? I'm back. I'm back. Oh man, I don't know how my brain would get like, evolve, or like, I don't know, freaking aliens would come down and they would snatch my brain. But the only thing you would help me cure me is basically put in a freaking Ratchet and Clank game. Okay, that's excessive. Anyways, but yeah, pretty much I finished it. I don't know what happened with the story. I don't know what happened with anything, basically. I honestly just freaking don't care. I played it. I enjoyed it. I freaking even went through the disgusting, like, collecting the crystals because there's only one in there. I wish they had more collectathons of just, like, collecting crystals and stuff like that. They had it in the second game, but for this one, they only had it in the sewers where you're just, like, cleaning up the goopy goops. That was gross, but at the same time, I got a lot of money from that. And also, the weapons is not a lot. I feel like this is sort of like a bite size from the last one game, if I gotta be honest. Like, there is not even a freaking shooting level. There is a shooting level, like, what is it called? A flight thing, like flight combat or something that they had, like, on a ship, and you power up your ship. You don't do that, here much, which explains that there's not really a lot to put in your ship. It's not that expensive other than, putting some customizations and colors. But other than that, you're just not even gonna fight with that ship. You're just gonna go to different planets, and that's freaking it. And when you do ride a ship, it's usually at war, helping with the other robots, the robot army that is part of the Phoenix, that is pretty much helping you, going to take out, whatever enemies that are invading the planets. And that's, you get your money there, and pretty much you go during ship battles, and they're pretty fun. They're fun, but I just wish there was like the freaking Star Fox style flight combat that it had in the other games, but sadly it doesn't. And yeah, there's no apparently Clank. You play as Clank, but you don't play Big Clank, which I'm like disappointed. I'm like, damn. I guess you don't play as Big Clank or something. You actually no. You know what? I'm sorry. You do play as him as only in one level, and that's it. Just one. Just one part of the whole entire game. You play as Big Clank. And that's it. It's during a movie scene, and I guess this is a story about how I feel like Ratchet and Clank in this particular series, or in this game, is basically just like showcasing, like, almost like a day life thing of just showing, like, because I know that this game and the whole series itself, it's really not that serious. It's kind of like another cartoon show of just like showing like how funny and they're interacting, so, but there is a development, especially behind Quark. And I know that Quark is not supposed to be likable. There's a part of me where I would even think most of the time he's the enemy. Obviously, for other people would think that as well. But we get to the story. This is kind of like or our first, our first introduction of Doctor Nefarious and basically who he is and the reason why he became to be, all thanks to those Quirk games that you play in the game. Those Quirk video games. You get a V card or whatever it's V card. You get a video card, vid card or whatever they call it. I call it a V card. Wow. But video card, and you play those within the game. And can I just say they're not my favorite? I don't really like playing as Cork. I don't like playing in those. I like mostly playing as Ratchet and him going to different planets and stuff like that. But my goodness, I just don't like how you have to go, like, in these cars just to continue the story much. I wish that was like a mini game thing. I wish that was a bonus thing, but hey, apparently it opens a lot of clues, which I don't know how they really got to that, but they did. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, I guess here we are trying to finish this, Quark game. And I guess you play all the characters. You play as, Ratchet, Quark, and Clank. All three. And also, especially the questionable dialogue and scenes of this, like how we're introduced to like the robot, pop star, and especially some parts within the characters. Like it's a funny and unserious game for sure, but also it's like humor where I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is humor for everyone. There's humor for adults and there's humor for some kids that might understand what this is and stuff like that. But for adults, oh yeah, they can see it. They can see it for sure. And maybe now it could be understandable for everyone, but also, like, I don't know, I just was so focused to talk about this game that sort of have like a Pixar-ish, Disney-ish, especially from its soundtrack, at least to me. And also like it's seeing some old characters, especially in the credits, or especially in like some of the planets and levels. Like Slim Cognito was there. He creeps me out, to be honest, but he's there. You only see him once. And also like I don't know what it is, but this game doesn't really, like, it's kind of like a one bite thing. It's like one thing, and then I guess the fourth one would be the biggest, but I feel like they could have just put way more. It's like, from what I seen it as, if I was to review this when it was first released, it would be it's not, it's kind of like bite size compared to the other ones. It's not that big. If anything, it's smaller than the second game. Then the second game was bigger than this one. It's kind of like, man, what's going on here? I thought it was like gonna be something like huge, or some huge changes, huge levels, bigger domes, bigger weapons, but no. No, we're just gonna keep it cut size and focus on the dialogue, that's for sure. And I guess that's what they're going for. This dialogue is interesting, it's unique, and pretty much you understand where Quark's coming from. You understand where Nefarious is coming from, which, as much as Nefarious is a bad guy, you kind of felt bad for like who he is, because it's kind of Quark's fault, to be honest. Quark is the reason why that Nefarious is a thing. So, it's like, what? Also, I like Lawrence. Can I just be honest? I like Lawrence. The butler, he's pretty cool. I dig him. I guess they're trying to make him likable as much more, but he's likable, in the usual sense, just okay. Just okay. But yeah, this is a PG-13-ish type of game, and pretty much, and here's the thing, I took some notes here, and pretty much already covered everything, I guess. But yeah, from what I got from this game, it's amazing. It's just that there's not a lot from levels and stuff like that. I wouldn't give it a high score for the last one. There's like no freaking board. Like, what is it? The board, I forget some of the characters. I know Olga's there. I know, or Olga, whatever. The Russian fitness lady that is big, and also the nerd that is helping with the tech stuff. I mean, they are basically not that useful in a sense. The team, Quark's team or something. Not even the cool dude guy that I forget his name, but apparently you don't. I wish that he gave you some stuff to do in terms of like the whole like surfboard or boarding thing that like hoverboard. There's no hoverboard in this game, and I really was hoping there is, but I guess not. I mean, and also you have returning weapons and stuff like that, but there's not even that much weapons, and you stuck up in collecting whatever you can collect. and pretty much you get really good. Especially my favorite has to be the warp, the portal. You open a portal and that's like the best weapon out of them, especially for smaller enemies. I mean, if you were tackling bigger enemies, it would be the shotgun or the nitro like bomb. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. There's so much to talk about this game. It had an online thing, but I didn't really check that out at all. I don't even know how to check that out via emulation, but you know, hey, there's an online thing in this game that you can play with other people, but I just never got to that. Yeah, this game is just perfect. It's just everything to me. Even though it wasn't perfect, it was perfect enough because it's freaking Ratchet and Clank. What do you want from at least for me, it's literally for those people that are like huge fans of Pokemon, of freaking Lord of the Rings, of Spider-Man's, but like you know, if they're big fans of it, they're just, you know, they love whatever comes out of just like, you know, releasing or even the old school stuff. And that's basically for me with Ratchet and Clank. Whatever comes out within the Ratchet and Clank universe, oh, I love it immediately. It's in my genes, basically. Anyways, I'll see when I see Ratchet and Clank was not bad. It's funny, it's interesting, it's questionable, but it's definitely a-okay to me. Perfectly. Anyways, I'll see when I see it. One love and a peace. God bless. Up to the next Ratchet and Clank game. And I'm excited. This is the last one of the PS2 series, and after the PS2, oh man, I'm about to dive in those PS3 Ratchet and Clank games after Deadlock, because that's gonna be a roller coaster. That's ooh man. I'm very curious to check those out and see why that my dad quit gaming because of those games. I just wonder. It has to be those. It just has to be those, or Prince of Persia. I don't know. I forget which one. It's been a while. One love and a peace. God bless.